Today I'm on Bleaklow in the Peak District and I'm here to visit 3 plane crash sites and also to see what wildlife we can find. This is a guided walk that we do during the summer and I'm just here to do a recce to see what's changed. I've parked at Snake Pass Summit where it joins the Pennine Way. There's room for about 20 cars and I put the what 3 words on the screen now. So on the other side of Snake Pass from where I am, you've got Kinder Scout, a moorland plateau. And on this side, we've got Bleaklow. As the name suggests, it is very bleak up here. So from the car park, we're heading north on the Pennine Way. And from the road, the track looks fairly easy going. After a couple of 100 metres, it soon changes to this. It's not really suitable for a wheelchair or a pram or a pushchair. The first crash site we're visiting is the B-29 bomber, also known as overexposed. And that's seen somewhere that they actually put signs up because people were getting lost up here. Mountain Rescue were rescuing people all the time. Good or bad, I don't know. And after about a kilometre, there's a big, obvious track to the left. Just over this little mound, and you can see the track heading up towards the summit there. Well, I'm not seeing any signs up to the crash site so far. Just been having to think about them. Yes, they're possibly good in some ways to stop people getting lost on the moors, stop people trampling over the moors and disturbing ground nesting birds. But is it taking away the remoteness of this place? Should you be up here if you can't read a map and compass? I don't know. Again, that's another debate. Either way, good footwear is required. It's very wet and muddy. So I brought my big camera today and I'm hoping I might see some mountain hares, possibly with a winter coat on. Red grouse, I've heard one. Very distinctive noise in the heather. I've not seen one yet. Short-eared owl, golden plover, possibly a little bit late for the plover. During the summer up here you get skylark, meadow pipit, possibly hen harrier, kestrels. We'll just have to see what we get. And besides law, because I've brought my camera, there'll be nothing showing. If I hadn't have brought it, everything would have been showing. It's been raining for the last few days. The ground is saturated. Bit of a gap in the weather today, so I thought I'd get out. Temperature is probably about 3 degrees. Gust up to 20 miles an hour with a estimated wind chill about -5. So yeah, it's a cold one. I'm just coming up to a clough here, so I just need to watch my footing. This is reminding me a bit of the Yorkshire Three Peaks before they put the footpaths down coming off Pen Againt. Look how wide these footpaths are. And the good thing about crossing these cloughs is it's all gritstone around here, so less chance of slipping. Slipped a couple of times on the mud already. On the rocks, you're pretty safe. Red grouse over there. I managed to get a couple of pictures. If they're any good, I'll put them up on the screen now. Oh, this is bloody horrible. It's like a big muddy motorway. It's only going to get worse because the middle's all muddy, and as people get onto the sides to avoid the mud, just widening the footpath. You can see it for miles. So Peak District National Park Authority, you need to do something here. Either block this off or put some stoning down. Won't be coming this way again. You normally go up to Hernstones and then take the footpath from there. So that's the first crash site, the B-29 Superfortress, overexposed. Anyway, from the first crash site, and then back up to the trig, and we're now following a footpath along the ridgeline in the direction of Glossop. Bunch of rocks over there. Let's see if we can get out of the wind, get an extra layer on, get a brew on, warm up. It's cutting, definitely below freezing today. And this wind, 30 up to 40 maybe. It's definitely affecting my walking, blowing me to the side of the path. This is probably at the limit for me bringing the group out. Couldn't find anywhere sheltered enough to get a brew on, but I have had to put an extra layer on. The cold was cutting right through me. So we're losing a little bit of height, dropping down from higher shelf stones. We're heading down to a place called James's Thorn, and that's the location of the next two plane crash sites. They're not as big as the Superfortress crash site, but it doesn't make them less important. So I've just had my first mountain air. I nearly stood on it, but it was off, and it did have its winter coat on. So when it stopped, I managed to get a photo of it in the distance. I'm just approaching the site of the second crash site. A little bit of a climb up to the next one, plane crash site 3, which is the Avro Lancaster. Basically follow this track down here, right down into the bottom of the valley, cross over the stream at the bottom and up onto the path on the other side, and that's also known as Doctor's Gate. Looks to be some seriously shitty weather coming in there, but fingers crossed if we drop down we should be out of the wind and find somewhere to get a brew on. So we're nearly at the bottom of the valley. The wind's definitely dropped. It's much warmer down here as well. This little valley looks stunning. It looks like they've planted all sorts of trees down here. The footpath from James's Thorn basically takes you all the way down into the bottom of the valley at Doctor's Gate. And then when you get to the bottom, just turn left and a couple of 100 metres up, there's a footbridge. It's a lovely little valley down here. So a nice cup of coffee to wash my 2 caramel bars down with. I did actually bring 4 with me today, but I gave 2 to a couple up on the tops by the first crash site. I actually lost my microphone on the way up. God knows how long I'd been talking to Capra without it. But when I realised, I went backtracking, and they saw me looking around, came over with a mic. So yeah, they got a caramel bar each to say thank you. Yeah, if you are watching this video, I am eternally grateful, so thank you. It cost a bloody fortune, these things. So it's just gone 2 o'clock. I've probably got about an hour 50 left of daylight, and it's about 2 kilometres back to the van. So normally that would take half an hour. However, there's a lot of uphill, a lot of contours to get back up to the van. So probably about an hour. So I should have plenty of daylight left. So there's a red grouse just landed next to the river down here. So I'm going to see if I can get a decent shot of it. I've already got a couple of decent shots at grouse today. So I'm going to get close to this one. Somebody's done a lot of work planting trees, laying the path. So nearly at the top of Doctor's Gate. I'm just looking back down the valley. Absolutely stunning. And today, fingers crossed so far, I've managed to stay dry. Wildlife's been a little bit disappointing. Plenty of red grouse. I think I got some semi-decent shots. The light's not been the best today. But the bracken and the heather makes for some nice colours in the background. One mountain hare in its winter coat. That's good to see. I've not measured the distance today, but I guess 5-6 miles. Quite a bit of elevation climb on this last section up Doctor's Gate. Nearly at the top. Starting to level out. I'll hit the Pennine Way, and then it's a sharp right back to the van. A couple of 100 metres tops. I'll get this last bit done before I get up onto the into the wind and before it gets too dark. Yeah, a shortish walk in the Peak District. A little bit of wildlife, a little bit of history. If you have enjoyed it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, that would help. And until next time, that's me signing off, and thanks for watching. Maybe next time.